There are plenty of comic book characters throughout time that have left an undeniably historical impact on the audience. That is, they are forever immortalized through their epic stories. Of the many characters we can consider, perhaps Thor Odinson is one of the most unique and definitely one of the strongest out there. Throughout the decades, this Asgardian god has done his best to both protect his realm, the dreamy Asgard, and the forever conflicted Midgard. In this video today, we will explore the origins of Thor in Marvel 616, as well as his many feats, powers, and accolades throughout time. So, without further ado, let's check out how strong, fast, and overwhelming Thor really is. And by the way, if you want to see more analyses on more Marvel characters down the line, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button as it helps me out a lot. Thanks, now let's get right into the video. Believe it or not, Thor has a pretty confusing origin, given that Marvel Comics likes to randomly change Odin's baby mama every few years or so, and did so recently in Avengers 42. Now, with Phoenix appointed as his mother, this does give the further credence as to why Thor is so inherently powerful, as the Phoenix Force is a cosmic power that predates even creation itself. Regardless of who his mother is, Odin created Thor with the idea of having a son that would one day even usurp the power of the Odin Force. On top of this, Thor was born to be a unique god, and boy did he live up to that. Aided by his Asgardian pals and his trusty Mjolnir, Thor has gone on many adventures over the years and has fallen in love as well with Midgard and Earth 616. As a protector of both, Thor has even spent time in immortal form as Donald Blake, but today, we will primarily focus on main Thor and what he has pulled off over the years. Alright, let us go ahead and get some of the juicier parts out of the way, that being power and durability. For his higher end scaling, we will wait until the end of the video when I will review some of his craziest feats. But for mid to the high ends, let us take a look at what he has both dished out and endured. For starters, as I mentioned briefly in the intro, Thor is inherently supposed to one day outright surpass Odin in power, and Odin isn't his physical equal. This is insane to think about, because Odin has been documented as having brawled with beings like Infinity and even fought Seth across infinite planes of existence. His power has several instances of being called unimaginable or limitless in comparison to measurement. He is also stated as being the strongest being to ever roam the Earth, and has the power even beyond the measurements of science. Now, even if we lowball this, his powers being beyond even math that defines the infinite 616 universe would at worst be multiversal. Even Dr. Doom, a being who is far from humble and has brawled with the likes of even Celestials, said Thor in Asgardian power is essentially power itself. Thor has regularly gone toe-to-toe with Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd, a being who draws power from a cosmic archetypal, the forever hungry Galactus, a being created to reflect biblical god, transcendental power, and the fallen angel archetype. Not only has Thor thrown hands with the Surfer multiple times, but he has even struck at Galactus himself, showing the sheer power of Thor is nothing to scoff at. Scaling to Silver Surfer and even above is quite impressive, given that 1,000,000 exploding stars at once simply fascinated Surfer, and did literally no damage to him. Surfer was also stated to easily have the power to unmake and render everything destroyed in the entirety of the 616 universe, showing that Thor casually scaling above the infinite universe makes complete sense, and he is more likely in the multiversal ranges when motivated to do so, as we will get into later on. A Thor with base power over Odin is typically shown in alternate forms of Thor, as his narrative is to one day surpass him. In terms of durability, Thor consistently scales above his own attack potency, as even weaker and younger versions of Thor have walked through the God Bomb, a device conceived to erase all gods across time and space itself. And he was also able to take hits from Gore, the God Butcher, a being who is capable of making the World Tree bleed. For reference, the massive cosmic World Tree has even been shown containing the likes of Thanos, the Watcher, and the Living Tribunal. And the World Tree is also so huge that it doesn't only have 9 or 10 realms, it actually has a maybe infinite number of realms within it. So it is massively huge, and Thor has dealt with something that could damage it. Such insane durability, should it be surpassed, is backed up by Thor's underrated recovery and healing. As you can see, Thor is more than capable of surviving his own attack potency, and has a nice healing factor and can recover from even reality warping, which makes his durability very impressive and easily in the multiversal ranges. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of scaling for Thor is his speed. As a lot of people try to downplay Thor, they call him like Thor Slowdinson. On Comic Vine, I've seen that before. But I'm here to showcase just how fast this god really is. For starters, he can easily keep up with the Silver Surfer, a being who can cross infinite universes in just moments and can even time travel through sheer speed alone, which gives him immeasurable speed. With just his consistent scaling to Surfer alone, you can argue Thor into the highest metas for speed. For example, in just moments, Thor was able to travel to the City of Gods, which is in the center of infinity itself. In another case, Thor heard a prayer from across the infinite universe and instantly arrived. He has also intercepted Hermes, the literal god of speed, and he also has point-blank react to Mjolnir, which can cross all of the realms in the universe in just moments. Thor also has had his own immeasurable speed moments, as he can move Mjolnir so fast that time itself bends to his speed and allows him to travel through time. The combination of Mjolnir's speed and his own is absolutely no joke and deserves to be given a lot more respect. And if you need any last clarification on Thor's extreme speed and just why he is able to go so fast, I would say just look at how time impacts him in his hammer, as Mjolnir is shown time and time again as being superior to time and space, and Thor has said before that the idea of time is essentially irrelevant to Asgard's pantheon, especially to the god of thunder himself. Now that we have discussed the physical capabilities of Thor in most scenarios, I think it is time to move on to one of the most, if not the most dangerous aspects of Thor, that being his hacks and abilities. As his inherent power and magical capabilities are typically channeled through Mjolnir, a weapon that time and time again has been stated to be the strongest weapon in all of the realms. Now, I'm not saying it is stronger than the Ultimate Nullifier or the Infinity Gauntlet if you want to think of those as weapons, but it is still really high up there. With Mjolnir in hand, just what has Thor pulled off with these abilities? Firstly, his lightning. With his godly power infused with elemental lightning, Thor has struck at even the strongest of beings like the Chaos King, Amatsu Mikaboshi. For reference, we know that the Chaos King easily destroyed over 98% of the infinite Marvel multiverse. Now, I'm not saying that Thor's lightning is always this strong, but it has hurt beings that are that powerful. What is even scarier is Thor can summon Blast even in weaker versions that are capable of rocking Gore the God Butcher. On top of his famous lightning, Thor is a master of elemental manipulation, as he has created a typhoon of such godly proportions that it was stated to have limitless speed. Thor has summoned solar storms of such cosmic proportion that they could produce speeds beyond the laws of mortal man. Thor has even managed to produce windstorms with vortexes so potent that they could tear apart time and space, which is just insanity. Thor has even summoned storms the size of entire realms and even used those very storms to infuse into a hammer. To give further proof as to why his attack potency is casually above universal, he has also gone toe-to-toe with Zeus, the leader of the Greek pantheon, and he also managed to block his many attacks. His usage of tornadoes can even stop time manipulation and temporality itself. Outside of the elemental, Thor also has several other useful hacks and abilities. For one, Thor's soul manipulation resistance and passive defense against all things soul-related are so potent that even classic Doctor Strange himself got rocked trying to impact his soul. He can passively withstand transmutation and reality warping due to his godliness. Oh yeah, Thor can also actively intercept relative and powerful energy blasts and amplify them tenfold before returning them upon the user. With Mjolnir, he can produce a powerful energy attack known as the Anti-Force with power beyond description that is a threat to Thanos clones and managed to one-shot Loki. Another scary aspect to all of his numerous hacks and abilities is that the gods are one of limitless power, so his stamina pool on most abilities is absurd. Thor's magic capabilities as an Asgardian mixed with his godhood and the strongest weapon in the universe results in a versatile warrior with abilities that turn time and space into his jungle gym. Now, to some viewers, you may feel like I glossed over a major ability in the prior section. That is false, my friends. The God Blast was simply saved for the end because it deals with some of his greatest feats. The God Blast is a move so potent that even Galactus felt pain, and Thor was able to bring down an eternity-level being with the same levels of power, so the blast being able to take out outer-versal beings makes sense. Thor has been able to withstand Mephisto, and his soul outright folded the Hell Lord. Thor moved the World Engine, which can displace the World Tree, which, like I said, contains even cosmic beings like the Living Tribunal. Thor was also able to wrestle the Midgard Serpent and fling it away from Earth, and he's also gone toe-to-toe with Godzilla. Plus, the mind of the God of Thunder is so strong that he even held off Phoenix Emma Frost from taking his mind. Fellow Skyfathers of Odin-type pantheons were unable to break through the mind of Thor as well. He has also managed to take down no-name Celestials and battle named ones. beings that are beyond time and space, and are actually even more powerful than Odin himself, who has done multiversal feats and much higher. He has also duked it out with Surtur, a being with the power to induce Ragnarok. And as I mentioned earlier, he also managed to duke it out with Zeus and had a pretty good fight against him. Now, I'm not saying that Thor can outright defeat Skyfathers consistently, but he can definitely brawl against them. And after much battle, he was able to actually crack the armor of Exitar the Celestial, and his inherent power allowed him to temporarily stop the Phoenix Force itself. And even younger versions of Thor can knock back the Godslayer Extraordinaire, Gore. And finally, even the Destroyer armor powered by Doctor Doom himself was no match for a pissed off Thor. So, to kind of bring things all together, what does Thor Odinson bring to the table? As we have reviewed, his godhood was always meant to surpass Odin himself, and with his mom confirmed now as the Phoenix Force, it explains as to why Thor has so many insane feats. For physicality, a serious Thor is comfortably in the universal to multiversal ranges of power, with his high-end stuff being outerversal. In speed, massively faster than light is the lowball, but it is so much easier and honestly more consistent to use higher metas for speed with Thor, like immeasurable speed, which, as I said, goes beyond time and space itself. At the end of the day, Thor is one of the strongest heroes to ever grace the comic book panels, and is a hero for all of us to look up to. And I think the best way to summarize how special Thor is by taking a look at the God Butcher run, really good by the way, in which Thor had to save every god from destruction, and in the final moments, Thor was the god of gods, and they all pray to him. Thus is the inspirational power of Thor Odinson. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and do you agree with my analysis of his power and speed? Please let me know, and I will be doing more Marvel videos in the future. Sorry for not uploading consistently, I've just been in a rut recently, but hopefully I'll get out of it. But anyways, thanks so much once again, and I will catch you, thotties, next time. Peace out.